very much, Madam Moderator. Your Majesty, the King of the Kingdom of Lesotho, that sits in the roof of Africa, King Letsie, honorable ministers here present, heads of delegations, my dear friends from Bosch Foundation. I learned that foundation in German is Stiftung. Stiftung. Yeah, I'll pick up more German. And from the Global Center for Climate Mobility, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. It's a real honor and a big privilege to be part of the inaugural Berlin Climate Mobility Forum, a very timely initiative by the Global Center for Climate Mobility and the Robert Bosch Stiftung. Did I say it right? It's okay. Good enough. This gathering could not have come at a more critical moment, as global cooperation is tested and multilateralism is at the crossroads. Coming together in the spirit of shared responsibility is both urgent and necessary. Amidst shifting climate patterns and geopolitical uncertainties, we must pause, we must take stock, and we must press forward together. This is particularly true in confronting the climate crisis that is before us. In my own country, in Botswana, which sits in the middle of southern Africa, we're already facing these realities. Though our emissions are negligible, like for most in the developing world, we endure the full force of climate extremes. These, among others, are record heat, prolonged and unimagined droughts, floods, fires. Yeah, we do have some wildflowers too, but wildfires and erratic rains. These changes threaten access to water, to food production, and to public health. Really similar challenges to what's been stated. Even our mining sector, where we extract our most valuable raw resources, are affected as both machinery and workers strain under inexplicable rising temperatures. Earlier this year, flash floods devastated communities and infrastructure like never before. Wildfires too. Wildlife too is being displaced, disrupting ecosystems and affecting human settlements. And in our case, when wildlife is disrupted, it affects the local populace, including the incoming valuable populace who come as tourists. And our most iconic species, the elephant, is all over the country. Just 3 days ago, one had to be put down just outside the richest diamond mine in the world, in Jwaneng, which is really in the semi-desert, and not a place you would normally find elephants. And so it pleases me more than anything else to be in the midst of a very senior, distinguished German government representative. 1 month in office you might be, but our offer from Botswana still remains of donating our 20,000 elephants to Germany. Recognizing these risks, Botswana and the Global Center for Climate Mobility are working in partnership to anticipate climate force displacement, and strengthen the resilience of our communities. Botswana has championed this since COP27, when the Africa Climate Mobility Initiative and the landmark Africa Shifts report were launched. That moment clarified both the risks and the opportunities that are before us. As we confront the challenges of the climate crisis, Botswana can leverage on its experiences in overcoming past difficulties. We have successfully managed the HIV pandemic and driven down infection rates. We were able to develop our country based on successful negotiations with multinational corporations such as De Beers. For more than half a century, we developed a joint successful partnership and formed a company called Botswana, a 50-50 owned partnership. And so with this spirit in mind, I want to urge those from the private sector here, and certainly the lead in the Robert Bosch Foundation, to export, to reproduce this capacity to partner for a good cause, whether it's through the establishment of more foundations in other countries and or through the refocusing of those with wealth to ensure that we focus on critical issues such as climate mobility. We can draw on these experiences to fight for a fair deal on climate finance. It is imperative that the needs of the most vulnerable countries and communities guide our negotiations and the allocation of resources. Adaptation is a priority, and localization is key. In Botswana, farmers are already adapting. We're planting drought-resistant crops, we're using smarter irrigation systems, and holding fast to our tested way of life. They are adamant in protecting their right to stay. Governments must honor that resolve by delivering more financial and technical support for local climate adaptation actions that are community-led, practical, and sustained to be more inclusive. Still, there are moments when moving is but the only option. When homes are no longer safe, we must ensure that those at risk can move in safety and in dignity, whether it's temporary or through planned relocation. For this, we need sound, strong, efficient data, strong policies, and inclusive processes. People must be empowered to make informed decisions, guided but never abandoned. Regional cooperation is critical. As a citizen of the Southern African Development Community, our regional economic organization, it is my strong conviction that we can work across borders to shape solutions that are shared, particularly that the consequences of climate change and mobility do not respect borders or sovereignty. Our renewable energy potential offers answers to water and cooling challenges, and our traditions, often mirrored in modern nature-based solutions, are the roots of our resilience. As leaders and as champions, we must support our citizens in protecting their right to stay. No one wants to leave the places they call home and the land of their ancestors by choice. Positive adaptation is not only a single act, but should be a journey that's ongoing, that's shaped with affected populations. Forums such as the Berlin Forum will allow us to share lessons. We will build partnerships and shape international support that is principled and practical. To our partners in Europe, I urge you to stand with us, not only out of responsibility, but out of shared interest. And be reminded, we also too stood with you, particularly in your time of crisis, of warfare, as recently as 1945 in the Second World War, when we sent our troops to Europe. And they paid with their lives. Many from my own country remained and reproduced themselves in the southern part of Italy. I don't know if there are any Italian cousins here. Europe's Green Deal and pursuit of climate neutrality must also resonate globally, not only through reducing emissions, but by uplifting adaptation and enabling just community transition and positive adaptation journeys. Investing in education, skills, and local infrastructure can help people move with dignity and purpose, contributing to resilience and prosperity in both origin and destination communities. Let climate cooperation be the ground where multilateralism thrives once again. Not a zero-sum game, but a shared gain. Do not leave this to others. In closing, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to the Global Center for Climate Mobility and its leadership, and to the Robert Bosch Stiftung, Foundation for convening this very important forum. Let us deliberate with ambition, and we must act with unity. I thank you immensely for your attention.